It is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is day 3 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round 14. Now, today's exclusive sketch is brought to us by Vanessa Bell, so I will have her information linked down below. I am doing a Disney layout, and I apologize if you hear my dog. She decided to hang out and snore, which she doesn't usually do, so I'm not really sure what's going on. So I am doing some Disney pictures. So I pulled out this kind of pre-made mixed media background that I had done, and I did it for something and didn't like it. But I didn't like it for what I was doing at the time. It wasn't that I didn't like it at all. I did decide the colors were a little funky, but then when I paired it with this Echo Park Alice in Wonderland paper with all of the teacups on it, the colors actually worked pretty darn good. So I have 3 photos, just like in the sketch, and they are of us all trying to pull out the sword and the stone. I guess I can't say us because there's no picture of me, but my kids and my husband. And I didn't want to cut the castle out of the background. So my are going to be much bigger. I think they probably are like 4.5 by 4. And so there was no room to do any of the matting that you see in the sketch. So I am not going to mat them at all. I am just going to layer them up on this distressed inked background that I trimmed down and tore the bottom and placed on that teacup paper. So now I went into my stash and pulled out a ton of my goodies from Scraps and Ink Crafts, which is an amazing Etsy company. I was on their design team, so if you need any sort of Disney-esque items, they have so many things. And so I actually am using 2 of my absolute favorite things from there, which is the tickets and the film strip. And then I am also using this slimline die with the pink that cut out all of those cute little Mickey heads, and it has like stitch lines. I decided to cut that in half and put that on both sides. And so that is going to kind of give that idea of the layering behind the photos that you see in the sketch without actually doing full mats. And then, of course, the lines. Now, if my sewing machine and I were getting along right now, I would love to just sew all of those lines. I think that would be super awesome. But all of those lines are going to be represented by the distressed inks that are placed on there. And then I am going to do some embellishing. So I have a couple of the acrylic pieces. I think I'm going to get 2 of them. The castle, and then the castle with a rainbow, and it says "Find the magic in every day" on it. I was thinking about these balloons because I really wanted a 3rd piece, but I hadn't pulled out anything that I was loving. So now I'm going to pull out some of the stamps. So the stamps are awesome. I love them. And I'm kind of just going to go through them and see what I want to use. And then I did get a mini Misty for Christmas. So that thing is awesome. I do need the 12 by 12. I forgot to mention on my Christmas list that I wanted it in 12 by 12. But that's okay. It's good to have a small one, and I'll just add the 12 by 12 to my Christmas list next year since I never seem to know what I want. So It was great. So I stamped out this tag that you can see. I also stamped out the title that says Fantasyland, and I did fussy cut these items out. I am going to rough up the edges of that Fantasyland because I just wasn't sure, like how to fussy cut that out. So I decided the square was kind of the way to go, but my square wasn't great. So I just roughed up the edges and that worked out great. I did feel like it was maybe going to get lost. So I used some saltwater taffy and just did the edges of it. And then I stamped out two other sentiments. One says never grow up, one says young at heart. So I put the never grow up there by my kids, and I put the young at heart down there by my husband. And then I also did that super cute camera. Do you see that camera? I'm putting it down right now. And it says say cheese. It's stamped beautifully and it is super intricate. I love how that looks. So I did those stamping, and then from another set, I had this, I don't know what you would call it, maybe like a label. So that's what I'm putting down now. So I did those in black, just like the title and the camera. And then I am going to pull out the same stamp set that it came from because it has a couple of different words that go in it. So the two that I'm going to pull out say must see, must do, which, I mean, you got to try and get this word out. Like, you just do. A couple of the other sayings on there didn't fit appropriately. I think there's like must eat and something like that. So I am going to stamp it tone on tone. And I got super lucky because I totally dropped that, but nothing happened. I'm not a good stamper. I do believe I'm getting better, but I don't think I'm great. So I am very happy with how this turned out, and the Misty was fabulous. So I needed one more thing to put on the bottom. I was like, oh, I can just write the date. And then I remembered another one of the stamp sets has this great date with the lines, and so you can just fill them in. And so that way each of the words basically got stamped in the same colors as the distress ink. So I am going to finish it off with these jewels. I think they're called sparkle gems, actually. And they're these sparkly Mickey heads. And I decided I didn't want twine, so I'm going to go ahead and cover up my tag hole with the pink one. I added a yellow one, and I'm going to end up adding a black one as well. So I think that is going to do it for this layout. I am super happy with how this turned out. Super excited to use that mixed media background. So head over and give Vanessa some love for this sketch. And then I'll link scraps and ink crafts if you need any Disney-esque stuff. And of course, the playlist will be down there as well. So that is going to do it for me today. Oh, and it's Sketch Sunday. It is Sketch Sunday. So the Sketch Sunday crew will be playing along as well. So remember to wear your crown. See you tomorrow. Bye.